Hello and welcome to the Big Bank Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
Dan, it's the end of the season.
Yeah.
The season is over.
Another one's gone.
Tick it off.
Yeah.
Grecians, you might recall, it was all very exciting last week. The excitement's waned somewhat.
Yeah. It didn't work out exactly how we planned.
No.
But, it's fine, isn't it?
I think it's fine.
It's better than fine. It's brilliant.
It's brilliant. It's just that final glimmer, wasn't it?
I mean, if Forest Green weren't so crap, they could have just sealed. If they were just going to win it anyway, they could have just sealed that.
Put us all out of our
weeks
misery
ago, and we would have been absolutely loving our lives, and we are. But to be second and promoted,
So if you might recall, we just needed to better Forest Green's result or do the same as them on Saturday.
Yeah.
They managed to draw. We managed to lose.
Yes, 1-0 at the hands of Robbie Williams' Port Vale.
Yeah, Portus Valus.
The Valley of the Ports.
It doesn't really work, does it?
As it's known colloquially.
So we weren't there. As you might recall, listeners, we were on our way to a wedding. Had the
listen to it on
Radio Devon. I follow.
Radio. Who in this day and age apparently just don't tell you what's going on in the game ever.
No,
they just say things like the players seem tired, or and
Timothy DeYoung's picked this up, and your imagination runs wild.
I mean, it's so frustrating when you're listening to it on pure audio.
Yeah, pure audio.
It's like they're commentating. It's like they've watched Sky Sports and gone like, "Oh, this is how it's done." Yeah, you can see that.
It was a bit hard work, wasn't it?
Just tell us everything that's going on, and then when the ball goes out of play, go like, "Here, Martin, what do you think of that?" He goes, "Oh, this is good, isn't it?"
We our favourite bit was when they claimed right at the beginning that they were going to have the fastest. They were going to be the fastest to update us on the scores.
Yeah, don't worry, we've got a reporter at the ground, so you'll be the very first to hear it.
Now they obviously haven't heard of live score.
Yeah, I had the notifications turned on. I got it first, well, before them. Then the big bank, all of the big bank realised, or the whole stadium probably.
Yep.
And then finally they got the news. So, I mean, lads.
Come on, lads.
What are you doing? Ringing them on a landline to tell them they've scored?
Well, then they cut across to the audio from the...
That sounded like it's recorded on a potato.
It did. It really did. Using both potato as microphone and antennae.
Keep it simple,
and
lads.
laptop.
Just keep it simple, You
so
need
it
to
was
start putting in little bits of audio here and there. Keep it simple.
Didn't need it. Unfortunately, Exeter City did need a goal and they couldn't get one.
They couldn't. No, I mean, I still would have liked to be there just as a kind of completionist.
Yeah.
Not to have a significant moment, not a good one, but still significant. And I would have liked to have been there for it anyway. We had a nice time at the wedding, but it didn't sound like it was much of a game. Our friends in the stand said essentially, they didn't. We were kind of all over them. Port Vale had one shot, scored, and then they time wasted for the rest of the game while sort of defending quite well, and we couldn't really do anything. There you go. There's my match summary based on not even watching the highlights.
There you go. There's the kind of quality you can expect from this podcast.
Well, I'm on the beach, aren't I?
We're all on the beach.
Yeah.
Or the National Trust property, wherever you go in this summer. So that means that the league table finished with Exeter City and Forest Green on equal points.
Yeah.
But they had a monstrous goal difference, didn't they?
So they beat us on goal difference.
I mean, despite their best efforts, because they really threw that thing away.
Exactly, I know. I mean, come on, it's annoying, isn't it?
It is annoying. So Dan's a completionist. I'm a completionist. Let's give you the complete results, as it were. So League 2 finished with Forest Green Rovers top on 84 points with a plus 31 goal difference. Exeter City, same points in second, plus 24. And then the surprise package of the week, as you'll all know by now, Bristol Rovers managed to create a 7-goal victory to finish third, plus 22 points on 80, which is exactly the same as Northampton, but they scored more goals.
Was that what it came down to?
They were both plus 22, and goals scored went for Bristol Rovers.
Wow.
Wowee.
I mean, that was absolutely mad, wasn't it?
It really was. So that means that's a West Country top 3, and I'm sure that's never happened before.
Yeah, that does seem, I mean, is that good? suppose it is.
It's good for us next season.
Good for the away games. Does
for the
mean
away games.
another trip to...
FGR.
No.
Memorial.
Yeah.
I'd take that over Carlisle, though.
Yeah.
Or I don't know who.
Yeah, I'll go. But...
Port Vale. And then in the playoffs, the points don't matter. Northampton are playing Mansfield. Port Vale are playing Swindon Town, which means that Sutton, Tranmere, Salford, Newport, etc. all missed out.
So chuck Swindon in there. Some people call Swindon the Southwest.
Well, there's certainly more Southwest than Barrow.
I wouldn't call Swindon the Southwest.
No, I think that's pushing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how it finished.
Yeah.
Second is brilliant. I mean, it is brilliant. Let's just focus on that for a minute.
Oh, it's amazing. We were given our back teeth for a second. Like,
how do you do that?
You just say,
"Oh Lord, take these back teeth. If only it assures us of second place."
I guess it would have to be some sort of spiritual kind of
prayer to the god of dentists.
Yeah, you couldn't just kind of arrange it, could you? You know,
I wouldn't know who to arrange it unless
Taggy.
You go down to the dentist, get them out, and then hand them to Taggy in a velvet bag.
But then, what can he do about it?
I'm assuming he could sell them and buy himself,
But buy a second place in the league?
No, like buy a quality midfielder.
Yeah, but that's giving you back teeth for a quality midfielder.
Which then creates second place. You're right, though. It's probably not an easy transaction to make.
Anyway, we would all been happy with second, wouldn't we?
We would.
And it's only that one game of, like, we look at, Forest Green. If they had lost it, they'd be really kind of wouldn't know what to feel, would they? But
no, that's
anyway,
right.
They did. So
anyway, we were top of the league for a week, which I'll take.
Well, I mean, unbelievably successful season. One that, like, I don't think we were... I think because of there being quite an overhaul in the squad,
yeah,
no one was really that sure what this season would look like.
No.
Last season, bit of a disappointment, ultimately.
Bad start to this season.
Yeah.
Slow start.
Not a slow start to this start of the season. A load of these kind of signings that a lot of people weren't particularly impressed with just because they didn't, they weren't necessarily kind of real numbers guys.
Or the big name of like...
Yeah, we're clearly not going to get a big name, but I mean, yeah, even at our level, no names at all.
People were after like Luke Norris or...
Fine,
weren't
yeah.
they?
But also even not anyone with any kind of like
no
numbers in previous seasons or anything really. It was kind of people who've been relegated or released from relegated teams. And, it couldn't have worked out better.
Would you call them, now on reflection, Matt Taylor, of course, promised marquee signings. Would you call Sam Nombe, Giovanni Brown, Timothy Dieng marquee signings?
Yeah.
Yeah. So would I.
Like if they'd had if they'd had the season they just had somewhere else.
Yes.
And then we'd signed them, I'd be like, yeah, that's mad. How come we're getting so many marquee signings?
Yeah, quite.
Yeah, brilliant.
So brilliant.
I think it's a strange one because you look around like at all the kind of end of year awards.
Oh yeah,
League Two, EFL, Teams of the Year, blah blah blah. We're barely in there. Like I think in one of the FIFA ones there was none, right. No Exeter City players.
Dieng gets into one, doesn't he?
Dieng's in one, and I think, but I think it's kind of hasn't really necessarily been any particular really outstanding individual kind of seasons. There's a few that have been really good and excellent, but like it was very much a collective effort across
really
the
was.
season, wasn't it?
Really
I mean, and that's with people because Sam Stubbs, if he performed the same way he performed from that January or whenever it was he came into the side for the entire season, there's absolutely no chance that he wouldn't be in an EFL team of the season. And if he wasn't, I'd have been one of those people on there on Twitter replying, going, biased, or I don't know what they say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. But collectively, I think the squad, it's not even the starting 11.
It's been such a squad season, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it really has.
Yeah, absolutely. And then last night, lots of you were there, I'm sure. It was the open top bus parade. It had already been promised before we knew if we were champions or not. 6 p.m. from St James Park.
Yeah.
All aboard the big beach bus.
The big beach bus.
Which we borrowed from Exmouth, presumably.
Right, yeah. Topless bus, as they call it.
Two of them.
Is that what it's called, a topless bus?
Open top bus.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
Topless buses don't come around these parts very often.
2 topless buses. And emblazoned across the front of the bus, just underneath beach bus.
Big beach bus.
Big beach bus, sorry. Were the words, "Well done on your promotion."
It really felt like a card from your nan.
It was a little bit, yeah. It sounded like someone at work, sort of, kind of begrudgingly congratulating you on a kind of internal promotion that they wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, like, promoted to assistant to the regional manager.
That's right.
You know, like. Anyway,
they put Dan
matter.
in charge of staples and staplers now.
Yeah.
Oh, well done on your promotion.
We were happily parading the squad along with our runners-up trophy.
Runners-up cup. You've cast some doubt on this.
I think that's personally. I think that's shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah,
and it's a little bit like. Boy,
I think you declared it to be not a thing.
Yeah. Anyway, but if no one else thinks that, then maybe I'm wrong. And it's nice to have something, I suppose, to wave about, but I just thought it was a little bit unnecessary, really. The achievement is the promotion. There isn't a trophy there is a trophy for second place. I don't think there should be, but whatever. I'm really pleased to be able to, seen them all come along and Matt Taylor and give him a clap and a wave.
I loved
Very
it.
busy, wasn't it?
It was really busy.
I had to go straight back to work and you had to go home, so we saw it come past. Give them a clap, and then they went into the Guildhall, and then they came out, I think, and did a bit more wave. We didn't see any.
Well, they came out at the top, didn't they? Of the Guildhall and waved.
Roof bit, but I had to go back to work, so
yeah, brilliant.
I had a scar band on, so
good. Matt Taylor, I thought he looked really chuffed. He was clapping everyone and really looking at people, almost Dawson style.
He looked me right in the eye when I was clapping at him, and
I thought he really. That was a tangible effort by him, wasn't it? To be separate from the group and looking at everything and taking it all in. And I thought it was brilliant.
The measure of the man.
Yeah, it really is. Been some excellent videos emerging of him enjoying himself after...
quite right too,
Yeah, backwards cap.
Yeah.
Backwards
Wandering
cap
about,
Taylor.
hanging outside Sidwell fish and chips.
Yeah.
You love to see it, as they say. Yeah,
So that was that.
I mean... They do that at the end of the season anyway. At least they've got something to celebrate this year,
Absolutely.
What a season. What a season it's been.
Yeah, it really has. So
a weird kind of gradual rising to the top.
What was your turning point in your mind?
Well, what?
Well, I mean, sketch the season out for me. Or I can sketch it out for you if you'd rather.
Well, I thought... At the start, when it wasn't going that well, I think I was thinking, well, I think this looks like still fairly promising here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can listen back to this and find out that I'm obviously lying if you want, but no, I think it was like, and then they started to get quite... Well, I think when Nombe scored, and he started scoring, and then and I was thinking, this is good. Like, we've got this kind of... We kind of found out who this guy was. And some of the rest of the players too, you know what I mean? Like, and kind of what they're about. And you're like, okay, I can get behind this. Like, Giovanni Brown's like a great player to watch. And then Nombe's clearly a kind of like a goal scorer who's going to really kind of like, he's really ingratiate himself with the fans and got a lot of really good attributes, like things you want in a striker, things we haven't had in a striker for quite a few years. The others two, Dawson.
Yeah.
Oh, this keeper looks good, and so I was quite optimistic once we kind of got going, and then there was just that difficult month of December, wasn't it, where it just we looked at it on paper and we're like, this is going to be a test, and then we lost I don't know, I feel like we lost every game in the whole month or something, well,
a few were cancelled as well, weren't they?
Yeah, and there's a bit of that going on. And then I was like, oh, is this just going to be the same again? There was injuries, wasn't there? That Nombe was out, Dieng got injured.
It was when Nombe Dieng were missing, wasn't it? It felt hard.
Yeah.
And then COVID and some losses. Because we've been drawing, haven't we? We had all those draws, you might recall.
Yeah, but then we started to pick up wins. And then came the difficult fixtures. And then New Year's Day. And then from then, it's kind of been, I've been having to kind of like curb my optimism ever since. And I tried to curb that optimism right up until it was literally done. Do you mean?
Yeah.
When those lads were waiting to run onto the pitch at the end of that Barrow game,
Yes.
I was thinking, but the final whistle hadn't gone. I was still then going like, don't keep off, like just wait until it's done, and then it's done. Do you mean like I couldn't let myself, I guess because of the past, but couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But then it was done. It was like a huge kind of relief, really. I suppose.
Yeah, I think the turning point for me, obviously, everyone would say this is that Sparks goal to win that game.
Yeah.
But I also think actually Bristol Rovers at home, because we started so slowly, haven't we? Draw, I think 0-0 wasn't it, first game of the season, then that loss away at Leyton Orient, and then that silly cup game with Wickham.
Yeah.
And I was and then we thumped Bristol Rovers, thumped them, and I was like, oh, maybe this is a good bunch. And then of course there were the draws, and it was frustrating, wasn't it? But then I think even at that point you're like, okay, just got to keep in with this crowd, because actually I've not seen anything here that we need to be worried about.
No, it didn't ever look like particularly.
It looked like we were in every game pretty much.
I'll tell you what there was a question mark over the kind of goals we were conceding during that beginning of the season. But then I talked about earlier on, Sam Stubbs comes in January, not just Stubbs, also Diabate, and it just changes the whole defence. Do you mean like suddenly those two are heading everything away always, and we conceded far fewer kind of goals of that nature in the second half of the season.
Yeah, very interesting. I thought George Ray would be a really big player for us. And of course, he was at the heart of defence when annoying, unfortunate goals were happening. And I thought, this is going to be the story of the season. Of course, it wasn't. It was story of part of the season. And you're right, that change was massive.
I was never massively convinced on George Ray. I thought he was good, but like a kind of like for like with Aaron Martin. Really,
I think that's right. Yeah,
he was like good enough, but like not outstanding. And I think in a centre back kind of, you need a really commanding presence there, and I think you got that not only with, if you got Sweeney, Diabate, and Stubbs playing, and Hartridge.
Well, I think Hartridge was big,
and Grounds. Or any combination of them. And you felt so confident in it.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. Anyway, listeners, you'll recall that we all got involved in the prediction competition.
Yeah. Last season we had me and you, and one other entrant,
and he won.
Corey, and he won.
Well done, Corey.
This year we had something like 30.
Yeah, that's right.
And we've managed to go through them all.
We've whittled it down. So
first of all, let's give you read out the remind us what the categories were and who the winners of those the results first before we decide to see who got what right.
So number 1 was Exeter City's league position. Of course, we came second. Number 2 was winners of the league. That was Forest Green Rovers. Number 3 was Player of the Year official, and that went to Dieng. Number 4 was the top scorer, and that was Matt J. We left it up to you to suggest what the surprise of the year might be, and you can still let us know what you think it was. And then who got the most red cards, and actually 3 players got 1.
Yep.
The biggest win was 4-0 against Scunthorpe, and the biggest loss was 3-0 against Leyton Orient. And then what's happened to Nicky Ajose? And the truth is, he's now a coach at Exeter City.
Yeah. Believe it or not, someone actually got that one right.
Yes. Hats off to Bob for that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the answers.
That's the answers.
And a few people got 3 right.
Yeah, I think we had 4 people on 3 correct answers.
Yeah.
So then we had to go down to
closest or the surprise of the year.
We then went to the surprise of the year. Now, unfortunately, at this point, a couple of you, if you put something humorous here, you succeeded possibly in making us laugh, but
you've blown your chances.
You've blown your chances a bit because some other people put stuff that was just like, well, I mean, that genuinely was more of a surprise. That the thing you said didn't happen. So
yes. So they both suggested that the surprise of the year would be either Giovanni Brown,
yeah,
or
just generally Giovanni Brown, yeah,
or Sam Stubbs playing,
yeah.
which is both correct.
Well, I think we couldn't really decide between those two things because one, yeah, we weren't sure if Sam Stubbs would ever play, but we wouldn't have kept him on if there was no chance.
And it's not.
And Giovanni Brown, we didn't know a huge amount about him. He wasn't particularly kind of like massively, celebrated signing when he came in, but he's been fantastic. So we couldn't really draw a distinction between those two. So then we went to
closest to league position.
Closest to who got the closest to where Exeter City finished in the league.
So the winner put 5th.
Yes.
Which made him the winner.
Yeah, I didn't get any right, not one answer, and you can't even find yours. But I think it's safe to say wouldn't have won.
I think I said City top.
Right.
So
I put
that's no good.
Off the top of my head, I think I remember I put Exeter 12th. I said Salford would win.
Oh yeah.
I said Joel Randall would be the top scorer.
And
all sorts of other stuff that's like so far off.
So we didn't win either, and we can't say who's won out of me and you, but it doesn't matter because the actual winner is drum roll.
Ollie.
Hey, Ollie. He's on Twitter. He entered via Twitter.
He did.
So we'll tweet him.
His Twitter thing is O'Durney.
At O'Durney. Fair play, Ollie. So you got the most right plus the closest to the league position. So there's a lovely prize. Dan will tweet you, I think.
Yeah, there is I will tweet him. Yeah, there's a real prize, which is one-off, one of a kind. Well, it's not one of a kind. I've got one, John's got one, and
your brother's got one.
Both my brothers have got one, yeah. But that's it.
That's it.
There's only 5 ever made.
So if you see someone wearing this scarf in the future, listeners, you'll know it's either one of Dan's family, me, or a competition winner.
Yeah, so Ollie, you've won this scarf. It is, let me tell you this now, you will be surprised at how good quality it is.
Dan's really outdone himself on this.
I was. It's really good, I think, anyway. But
next year when I'm in charge of the prize, you lower your expectations again.
Yeah, I'll tweet the winner. We've got to do this thing about doing an accent, but we didn't really read out the thing. He wanted to be read out as a pirate.
Okay.
Can you do anything about that?
I've won the competition.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Sorry. Yeah. Good accent. Some of you are suggesting excellent accents. And I want to give a shout out to my favourite, Where's a Jose?
Yeah.
Let me just find it. Sorry. I should have prepared. This was from Colin Harvey. And Colin, who wants me to read this out in the voice of an elderly Glaswegian woman from the 1940s.
Yeah.
Prepare yourselves.
Please do, yeah.
Said that a Jose is, going forth, back and forth on the Exmouth to Starcross ferry, trying and feeling to find the double locks.
Lovely. Lovely job.
Good one, Colin. Surprises of the year. I think we're going to change the categories next year.
Yeah.
It's going to need to be either funnier or more discernible.
Yes.
We've been neither hither nor thither.
We're always improving,
We are. We're honing our craft.
Absolutely right.
Iron sharpens iron, as they say.
Iron does sharpen iron. I'm iron, you're iron.
We're sharpening each other.
Yeah.
Not like that, listeners.
Not like that. I like the person who'd written on his own accent, no clue.
How do you not know what your accent is? Who's that?
Harry.
Harry?
Yeah.
You don't know what your accent is?
Doesn't know what his own accent is.
Look in the mirror.
Then again, I met someone the other day who didn't know how to pronounce their own name. So
what?
Yeah.
What? Was it a baby?
No, fully grown person. Couldn't pronounce their own name. Anyway, thanks for getting involved in the predictions competition.
Yeah, we've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it too.
It's one of these things that takes a long time to pay off, doesn't it? Because
it does.
It's like, we did that in
August.
July, yeah.
We'll do another one next year, of course.
Yeah, even better prizes, even better categories. We're hoping for an even better season.
More about that in a second. Welcome back to the Big Bang Theory podcast. You can get in touch with us if you want to over the summer. Keep in touch. Send us your holiday photos, postcards and that, in all the normal ways. At Big Bang Pod, Big Bang Theory Podcast on Facebook, and bigbangpod@gmail.com. Next year, Exeter City will be playing football in EFL Division League 1.
Yeah, give us some League 1 chat then.
So these are the current... It's not a finalised list yet, but these are the current teams in League 1. Ready?
Yeah.
Relegated from the Championship, Peterborough, Derby County, Barnsley.
Okay.
Derby County, that's a big one. Apparently we've never played them in the league before, by the way.
Okay.
And then...
Makes sense.
They've lost a few going up, obviously. We know that Sheffield Wednesday and MK Dons have not gone up through the playoffs, so there's them. There's also Argyle, Oxford United, Bolton Wanderers, Portsmouth, Ipswich Town, Accrington Stanley, Charlton Athletic, Cambridge United, Cheltenham Town, Burton Albion, Lincoln City, the Slugs, Shrewsbury Town, Morecambe, Fleetwood Town, and then from our division, Forest Green Rovers, Exeter City, Bristol Rovers, and then one of the 4 playoff teams aforementioned.
Right.
It's a very southern league, Dan.
It is quite southern, isn't it? And lots of subtext, lots of ex-players.
Yeah.
Lots of good teams, big teams.
Yeah, big teams, and losing some tiny teams.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah, so there you go.
I'm looking forward to it already.
What are you looking forward to? Which away match are you going to try to get to?
I want to go to Hillsborough.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't go last time when Troy Archibald Henville took on the entire team and scored. But it might be one of my most ever viewed YouTube videos.
Fair enough.
But didn't go to that. But I'd like to go this year. Derby, if they manage to survive.
Home
Where
park,
else?
of course.
Yeah. I mean, finally we get to have an Argyle away match, hopefully.
Yeah.
Been Charlton before when we played them years ago.
In the cup.
Yeah. Nice to go there again. I remember it being good. And then Stockley's there as well, isn't he? Presumably he'll still be there.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Loads of them.
Loads of good ones.
Yeah.
Lovely. Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to Derby. Yeah, I think it'll be... I mean, I'd love to go to Stadium. I know they might not be there, but Stadium of Light would be good as well. Sunderland.
Yeah, and then all those teams come into St James's Park as well.
Well, great.
Yeah, going to be good.
Going to be good. There's also a new shirt.
Yeah. That's timed well, isn't it?
Really well.
If we'd kind of gone up on the year that we weren't changing the shirt, I mean, I feel like when you got a new kit, it kind of like feels like a whole... And it's a nice one too, right?
Oh, well, I like it, and we all voted on it.
Saying, oh, let's have black shorts, but then someone, which, obviously I think we should have, but someone replied to me saying, oh, we can't, because all our away kits have got dark shorts as well.
So we've got to have
I
different.
don't think I need them in black, but we got grey shorts and
that'd
dark
be why,
blue
wouldn't
shorts.
it? Yeah.
To which I say, okay, give me white then.
Well, they could wear white with the blue shirts, of course.
No, it would look appalling.
Wow. I mean, we hardly wear that shirt.
No, true. I'd take white shorts, please. White shorts with that shirt. That would look good.
Okay. Can I give you... Well, we don't know yet, but some squad changes, obviously. We had a massive overhaul last year when you look at it.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
But actually, there's the chance that it won't be as extreme this year.
Yeah, I'm guessing it won't be that long until we hear...
We might have a retained list soon, mightn't we?
That'll probably be soon. Forest Green have already put theirs out.
Right.
I know people do things at different times, but we might get one pretty soon.
I mean, they were promoted a week before us, weren't they? So, yeah, maybe.
So, the loan players, let's assume they're all going back, at least for now.
So that's Cameron Dawson.
Yeah, he will be going back.
Welp. I'll miss him. I'm just looking through. I do apologise.
Kieran Phillips.
Yeah.
Who else?
Zanzala.
Ozzy Zanzala and Podjamond.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
So we say goodbye to all of them.
So that means...
Would you have any of them back?
Well, I'd obviously have Dawson back.
Yeah. It's not going to happen, but that would be good.
I think I'd have Amond back.
Oh, yeah?
As in, I think he could be a good future manager. I think he might well go into that.
Yeah, maybe it's... I mean, it would be keeping him on for that, really. I'm not sure he...
No, not as a player,
Not sure he made much of it. He didn't make a huge impact.
He had a couple of moments, didn't he?
He had a couple of good moments, and he was definitely a likeable player.
But yeah, I
definitely seems like a likable guy, and like, yeah, I kind of wished to have had a younger Amond on several occasions, but yeah, I really kind of felt like he kind of enjoyed his time here. Obviously, he wasn't having a bit of a tough time at Newport.
Yeah.
And he's come here and had a great time, got promoted, like.
So I think his contract's finished at Newport, so he'll be looking for a club. So
maybe he comes back, and if he did, it's not one I'm going to be like, yeah, I'd be fine with it. Although I'm not necessarily sure it'd be like, I don't know.
I don't think I'd worry. I don't think I'd worry about Zanzala. I think I'd leave him go.
Yeah, I think I probably tend to agree.
I think he did it. I think he was really helpful to us in our time of need.
Yeah,
but he never set anything on fire.
I think he does a lot of things well, but you need more of a threat from a striker. Do you know what I mean? And maybe if he was, third choice in that position or something, I wouldn't be like devastated. I mean, and he seems like a nice guy or whatever. But we're not doing it on who seems like a nice guy, are we?
No. So that leaves us with goalkeeping positions. We've got Harry Lee, we've got Jack Arthur, and we've got Scott Brown.
Well, after last night, when I saw Harry Lee leading a "We Hate Argyle" chant from the top of the bus, I say just give him the shirt. Get him in. He's rated, isn't he? I mean,
he is. He's young. He's 17.
Yeah, and that's big for a keeper. I know that.
League One.
And maybe there's other people, and it's going into a division he's, a higher division than he's even had access to before. But chuck him in. Look at Czech.
Maybe.
Look at Czech.
Could be transformative.
Look at... I don't know.
Could have the season of his life.
A lot of our youngsters have done pretty well by just being chucked straight into the team. Do you know what I mean?
And then in defence, we've got the following. I think still. Caprice, Sparks.
Definitely Caprice. He signed a new contract fairly recently.
Sparks is on a long contract as well, I believe.
Same, yeah.
George Ray, I'm assuming, will go.
Yeah,
I think we've got him for another year.
Have we?
I think so, but I don't imagine we'll keep him.
Yeah.
Stubbs, do everything we can to keep him. He's on a longer contract. Callum Rowe, I think's looked good at points.
Yeah. Probably, been more of a midfielder when he's played, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, yeah. Colin Daniel, I'm assuming he'll go. He's playing for Aldershot at the moment on loan. Jordan Dyer, I don't know. We haven't really seen anything of him, have we?
No, but he's still knocking around.
Yeah. Sweeney.
I think Taylor probably likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got quite the haircut.
Yeah, he has.
Sweeney, surely.
I think he's had the best season of his career.
No idea what contract he's on, because of course he wasn't even supposed to be here.
You'd imagine it's only a year, but who knows? I would give him another one,
Yeah.
He's also led that group to promotion, hasn't he? Do you mean?
Yeah.
Wait, do you mean like he's been captain at times?
He's been more constant and consistent than Jay, who is the captain.
And he's clearly like one of the like leaders of that the group from everything we see. Do you mean personality wise?
Yeah.
Why would you let somebody like that go after?
No, absolutely.
Like we've just said, how much of a team effort it's been. You mean like you can't play down that role he's played, and also it's not just a cheerleader. He's been fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
He's had such a good season on the pitch, and he's just turned into this really reliable guy who can also kind of really make some good things happen. We've seen those whipped crosses from deep, and
I thought it was interesting last night when he was back of the bus on his, he was similarly a bit like Matt Taylor, kind of really enjoying it and taking it in, wasn't he? And
yeah, he kind of like took a kind of step back and was kind of like, almost like it felt like a kind of position of responsibility or whatever. But
indeed.
Well, okay. Well, who else then? Who else we got?
So I don't know. So Grounds is next. I don't know what his contract situation is. I'd keep him. I'd try and keep him for another year. I think his experience. I think he's brilliant as a backup.
Yeah, I think I definitely tend to agree. Maybe if we kept the whole lot of them, I'd keep it as the same setup. If we can keep hold,
So then it's Hartridge and Diabate.
Obviously, let's keep them both forever, please.
And then Ellis Johnson. Where's he been on loan?
Ellis Johnson.
Yeah.
Don't know. Never heard of him.
And then then this new fella.
What about Alfie Pond as well? Another one Taylor seems to like.
Yeah. He's not listed. Oh no, he's listed as a midfielder. So and then there's Amir Daniels. I think that's how you say it. Who came in just in March.
Yeah.
Who's young.
Yeah.
So then midfield, Nige.
I think it's probably
time, innit?
Probably time for Nige.
Rumour of another year on his contract.
Okay.
He's not going to get many games, is he?
I wouldn't have thought so. And I think, he looked like he struggled a bit. Yeah, didn't play much. Do you know what I mean? He was injured and obviously not first choice. But I think even when called upon, he's kind of struggled a bit. Had some kind of rash moments. Got sent off, didn't he? I mean, obviously I like Nigel, and like at times he's been outstanding for us.
Yeah.
But I think based on this season, maybe that's an area you need to improve.
Matt J, obviously.
Yeah, keep J.
Collins and Key, keep him if we can.
Key, I'd say probably the most likely to go, isn't he? That's what seems to be the word.
Guess so.
Yeah.
And then Dieng.
Yeah, keep Dieng. Player of the year.
Kyle Taylor will be out for a year.
Yeah, really unfortunate that, because he's someone I really wanted to see more of.
I won't bother going through all the youth players, but Coley and Kite.
Well, they're first team players, aren't they? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, both. I think it could be potentially big seasons for them next year.
Agreed.
I mean, if we were in League One, if we were in League Two still,
yeah,
I'd be definitely thinking, okay, time for these guys to like play a big part in this. That's kind of the model we'd had in the past.
Yeah.
But I think even in League One, I'd like to think they will get hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
Expect them to feature.
And then it'll be interesting to see, won't it, how many games Sonny Cox and Alfie Pond get. Because Cox has hardly played at all. Pond's been on the bench a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, we thought maybe we'd see more of
Cox in the old EFL
Sonny
thing.
Cox, yeah, and we didn't really. But then we didn't make it that far in any of the cups.
No, that's true, we didn't. And then up front, Ben Seymour presumably will not play for us again.
Yeah, not featured this year. Has he been out on loan? Injured.
Nombe, I hope we can keep.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if some big offers came in for him.
Well, maybe, but then he's missed
a lot.
A big old amount of this season. Obviously, he's impressed when he has played.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd like to keep hold of him if possible.
You're right. So Amond, Phillips, Zanzala will go. Giovanni Brown, I think we've got the best chance of keeping.
I mean, he's pretty much said. He's implied that will still be here.
Yeah. That's really it. So, I mean, there's Nelson, I'd never know how to say it, Isigan, and there's Charlie Hansen, who maybe we'll start to see, but, we might not see them this year again. They were on the bus.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's actually, that's a lot of players. We don't have to worry about it.
It's a big difference on last year when it was sort of more like, there's a lot of ones where you'd be like, no, it's time to go, like with a lot of them. Whereas I'd quite like to keep the majority of them.
Absolutely.
And like the vast majority, and then maybe add some improvements if we can.
So where do you think we need to improve? We need more up front, don't we?
Absolutely, we need probably like 2 or 3 more strikers.
Yeah.
We obviously need a keeper.
Yeah.
Harry Lee isn't going to do it.
Yeah.
Let's assume he probably isn't, but
and then it depends, doesn't it, on the old Key, Sparks, Caprice, who stays.
I think we probably need to recruit.
To have 3 of them is fine, isn't it? Probably.
I think we could do with someone else, or with one more who can either do left wing back.
Yeah.
Let's assume playing the same system, or can do both. Because Caprice at the moment is the of course the season pretty much has been the backup for both sides.
Yes.
So definitely, even if all 3 of those stayed, one more, presumably left-footed wing back, full back kind of player for sure.
Because we've not seen Coley there, have we?
I guess
we thought we might.
No, he's played more kind of as a kind of like replacement for Matt J or something like that. I guess maybe another centre midfielder if like Nigel Atangana goes.
Yeah.
And if not, if Kyle Taylor's going to miss the whole season, then definitely another one in there as well.
I think we need 2.
Maybe we need 2.
Because obviously when we lost Dieng, we really struggled.
Yeah.
Of course, we lost Dieng, Kite at the same
time. But
time.
Kite perhaps is the answer to one of those questions.
Yeah.
And you might not want to buy 2 or recruit 2 new central midfielders when you've got a young player, which the manager clearly likes in Harry Kite.
Yeah.
And an injured player who will be back at some point. I mean, so, but at least one.
And then inevitably with Exeter City, there'll be someone that we haven't even thought of, youth team player, who in a year's time we're like, the whole season was about them.
Yeah. Well, like me and several others thought might be the case with James Dodd.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of talk. I think he featured in quite a lot of the friendlies at the beginning of the season. We thought maybe this would be the year because he's been around for quite a while now. I think he made his first team debut like a good few years ago now, and we haven't seen a single sight of him. So maybe
that's not happening.
Yeah,
but there'll be someone, won't there?
Well, exactly. I don't think any of us particularly thought Diabate would feature as heavily as he did, and midway through the season, we definitely wouldn't have been thinking that Callum Rowe was going to be coming back and being such a big part of the last kind of month or so.
I wonder what will happen with Hansen, because he looked good to me, and he's similar style to Nombe, really, but he hasn't even been mentioned, has he? Nothing, even when we were having to bring in 2 loan players.
Not in terms of the first team at all, no.
I don't know what age he is, but
he always seems to feature in the youth team.
That's right. So maybe he'll start coming through. Anyway, that was a very successful season for Exeter City.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Got what we wanted, didn't we? Really?
What are you going to do this summer, Dan?
I don't know.
Season starts a week early, of course, which means I think I'll miss the first game because I'll be on holiday.
Really? Outrageous.
Well, I normally time my holiday straight after the kids finish school, because then you got a full fortnight before football starts.
Yeah.
Not this year. Don't know why it's changed. There's some reason. Don't think it's Qatar.
I don't know.
So, in a way, I'm hoping that's an away game I can't get to, but it probably won't be. It'll probably be a really good one.
Bound to be, innit? Bound to be Derby at home.
What can you do?
Yeah, no, I haven't got anything to say about my summer, really. I don't know what I'm going to do.
There's no... Of course, this would normally be a World Cup year, wouldn't it? And
sit around.
Yeah.
Watch the tennis.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Presumably all the players now off. Give them a couple of weeks off.
Yeah, this is when the players' holiday start, isn't it? So if you're interested in that, give them all a follow on
we'll be seeing it
Bebo or whatever your kids are using these days.
And then Matt Taylor's playing for the Stansfield Memorial game next Saturday.
Oh, yeah. That's at Yeovil, is it?
Yeah, Harley's playing. Rob Edwards is playing.
Oh, amazing.
So some people are going up to that, I think.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then he'll get a well-deserved break as well, presumably, which he'll fill with cricket. So fair enough.
He'll get away as well, will he? For a little holiday?
Don't know. Taggy, of course, is having to type in all the messages they put in the advertising boards, the electronic ones.
Well, got to keep yourself busy, haven't you?
That'll be his summer.
He's got enough of a tan already.
I enjoyed seeing him on the double-decker, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you see it on Spotlight?
No, I didn't. No, was he up there?
They interviewed him while he was driving along. Yeah.
Was the mayor up there as well?
I don't think the mayor was on the bus.
Well, there was a fellow in a hat, some sort of, weird get-up.
That could be the mayor. Don't know.
Like a weird sort of coat and hat.
Oh, right.
Got to be the mayor, isn't it?
Could be.
Anyway, yeah.
There you go. Well, thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you. We'll be back when the friendlies kind of start and when we've got some news about transfers. And
the transfer window opens not long, is it? Sort of beginning of June.
Not long. We'll probably start doing stuff again when there's something to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that generally stops us.
But we'll be back, won't we, with season 5.
Season 5, yeah.
This thing.
And we're going to have way less to talk about, and I'll tell you why. We've got a full squad of players. The scoreboard's already up.
Yeah, but
we already know what the kit is.
There's always something.
There's always something
coming down the pipeline.
My favourite thing that happened last night was some guy who worked in Tesco's, who I'd already seen during the day singing City songs, then came straight out from his shift and was kind of looking around, waiting for the bus to come. And then Steve from Tesco's came out and went, "What's happening here?" And the lad from Tesco said, "The Reds are going up, Steve." Steve just walked off without even looking back.
Argyle fan, Steve, clearly, isn't he?
I said to matey, "Steve not interested?" And he went, "Steve don't know what's going on." But he's right, The Reds are going up.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Happy days. Just some quick updates. So I've just seen here Piers Sweeney saying "see you next season" in a tweet.
Good, Sweens, very good.
See him there. And Giovanni Brown.
Has he sent that to you?
No, not to me. No. And Giovanni Brown said best day about the open top bus parade.
Giovanni Brown is really enjoying himself, isn't he?
Giovanni, he's extremely cool, isn't he, Giovanni Brown?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he loves it.
And you just like having it's good to have characters, isn't it? At your club, and he's probably one of my favourite players.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolute cult hero already.
Yeah, of the last. Already, I'd put him, up there with some of my
I mean, they're quite a bunch, aren't they?
Yeah. It's but just something about Giovanni. It's just like he's got it all,
Yeah.
Anyway.
And he's now got his runners-up cup to go along with it all.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. My name's John. I'm with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you next year.